You come around the corner and you see a police officer in his vehicle doing speeding tickets. What's your first response? Let's talk about that. And Katie sometimes, because she likes to sleep in during the summer.
Wow.
Yeah. Good morning, beautiful people.
Did you just roll your eyes at me?
Yep. This is the part of the show where Larry comes out and sings a silly song. Oh, that's VeggieTales. Sorry.
I was thinking Larry Smith because he writes tickets.
Oh, that's right. Larry Smith. This is part of the show where Larry Smith comes out and sings a silly song.
And writes a speeding ticket.
That's right. So, first response. Katie, first response, you come around the corner and you see a cop doing...
Slam on the brakes and make everyone behind me freak out. No,
How do you feel?
Nervous.
Nervous.
Even if I'm going to speed limit, which I rarely am, I get nervous.
Nervous. So, is that like a fearfulness or a fear of getting caught?
Fear of getting caught, yes.
Okay.
Because I know I'm going above the speed limit.
There you go. So, we have this lovely Bible called the Word of God, the Living Word, the 66 books that we're supposed to live our life by, that God put these 66 books together to form one book of a love letter of how we should live, what we should be doing with God's grace and God's glory. And over and over again in the Old Testament and some of the New Testament, it says the beginning of knowledge, the beginning of wisdom, the beginning of a relationship with God, which always scratched my head, is what?
Oh, is the beginning of knowledge is the fear of the Lord.
Yeah, fear. Okay? Now we get that and we have this bad connotation of the feeling when you come around the corner and you see a cop car doing speeding tickets, you're like, ooh, and you slow down or you stop or traffic hates you in the back of you, and you have this like fearful moment of like, ooh, am I going to get caught? Well, some people don't care. They just speed right past them and see what he does. Anyway, but most people have this kind of like this knee-jerk reaction and this fear. Why? I mean, he's not coming after you. He's not, but because of the uniform, because of the car, there's a healthy fear of respect and of, quote unquote, not getting caught. So we think that way when we see a cop or when we see somebody in charge or maybe a judge in a courtroom. There's a healthy fear of that person. Now, you're not cowering or, never going to go see that person again or not try to build a relationship or, have friendship, but you have this healthy fear about it. So I think we have the bad connotation of fear, that it's a bad thing. I mean, I've watched too many horror flicks in my life to know that the whole world preaches that fear is a bad thing. I think fear is a good thing sometimes, that we know God's place in our life, that he can hold our life in his hands, what he does. He holds our soul in his hands, so there's a healthy fear, a healthy respect for God. And so Proverbs chapter 9, verse 10 says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. And also, I go back to, if you look at the greatest scientists in the world, their foundation, even though maybe were not a Christian or maybe not following correctly, but if you look at most of your scientists, and actually social reform in the past, their foundation was first that they had a fear of the Lord, that their foundation was God, and that he was the creator. And so in that point, then they flourished. They flourished with wisdom, they flourished with knowledge, and our society got better because the foundation was God, and they had a healthy fear of him. Now these days, people don't care. They don't have that fear. And in my heart of hearts, I feel sorry for people like that they don't have a fear, because God does have your soul and the world and your life in his hands. And so I think there's a healthy fear that we need to have. So my challenge for you today is how do you have good fear with God? Think about that today, because there is a goodness to having fear. It's not, a cop fear or judge or a horror flick fear. It's a fear of respect and that God has everything in his hand. He's sovereign. I love you. Jesus loves you too. You have a great Wednesday. Bye-bye.
Nice. Beautiful. You gonna cry?
Yeah.
Oh, you like... You scared me.
Scared.